So excited to be live today. So very excited. Can y'all hear me okay? Just give me a couple comments and let me know. So today we will be again reading from the Carolyn Miss Archetype cards. And this is another shadow work session video. So by watching through this video, you will gain benefit and energy clearing in your life. And I would also like to be able to read for the people who are currently live and viewing. So if you have a particular issue and you want to remove density around it, feel free to let me know about that issue. Or if you just like a general clearing, let me know and I'll pull some cards for you and we'll work through this together. Thank you guys so much. Oh yes, Christine says she can hear me. Oh my goodness, this is pretty funny. One Christine says, sounds good. The other Christine says they can hear me. Thank you, both of you Christines, for showing up. If you guys would like a reading, just let me know. I'm going to tune into my deck for a moment and shuffle really good. Sometimes I knock on my deck. I knock on it like 3 times to clear it. I don't know. Does anybody else do that? Or how do you clear your decks? Or how do you connect to your decks? I would love to know. But I want to start this session off by pulling a couple cards for the collective. And as cliche as it is, I would like to pull 3 cards for the collective for world peace. I would like world peace. That's something I want to see. And one of the cards fell out. So here are some things that we should think about as we work towards that beautiful goal of peace for the entire collective. Oh, dang. We're getting like a lot of like religious cards. There we go. Yeah, of course. Oh, Christine Palillo says that they knock on the deck too. That's wonderful. So these cards specifically, this is what stands in the way of world peace for us today. So we're going to recognize these shadows, and then we're going to work to actually clear them energetically. So anybody who watches this video or who watches this on the replay will get the benefit of basically this energy clearing, and this will help us all align to a timeline where we can have world peace. So everything will be more peaceful after we do this work. So the first card, or the deepest card, the root card that we should look at that steps in the way of world peace, is the Monk Nun Shadow. And the light attribute is selfless devotion and single-minded dedication to spirit. But the shadow attribute is negative judgment of the physical world and excess piety. I know that a lot of people who are religious, I know this because I was formerly religious, sometimes they judge the world, right? They judge the outside world. They judge outsiders. They judge the others. They judge the way the world is. And that judgment doesn't bring us healing. That judgment always only brings more judgment and more, abrasive, dense energies. So I am witnessing that root shadow. Another thing that we should look at is the shadow of the exorcist. The light attribute of the exorcist is freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses, while the shadow attribute is facing fear of your own demons, or a fear of facing your own demons. And so this is important too. The exorcist card, this is why we do shadow work. This is why. We need to face ourselves. We need to face our shadows. We need to face our traumas. Okay? And this is exactly what we're doing today. And then the last card, this is a surface level issue. This is what we have to really work on before we can get to the meat and bones of that world peace. And we've got the nature child. And when we look at our world, we know, the world has been very exploited, very polluted, very taken advantage of. The light attribute of the child of nature is friendships with animals, communication with nature spirits. But the shadow attribute is a tendency to abuse animal, people, and environments. So I am witnessing the shadow of the monk nun, the exorcist, and the child, the nature child, with gratitude, with love, and with wisdom, knowing that we could return these shadows to a state of emptiness so we can all align to a timeline where we have a more peaceful experience. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those associated with the monk nun shadow, the exorcist, and the nature child shadow, to be hereby quantumly disentangled from all of our collective energy fields, clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions, because I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those associated with the monk nun shadow, the exorcist shadow, and the child of nature shadow. And I hereby command and demand any and all foreign energy entanglements be removed from our collective energy fields, cleared and canceled across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions, into a boundary of light, back to source to be received, upcycled, recycled, transmuted, and then returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. It got really super hot in here when I started to clear that. Ooh. Okay, my friends, I'm going to go ahead and check out the chat now, and we're going to go ahead and pick somebody for a reading. Okay, come on, spammers. Stop spamming. Oh my goodness. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Lacey. Hi, Brittany. Hi, Christine. Oh, you guys are wonderful. Hi, Cody. Oh, Cody said it was a little choppy, of course, while I was working on clearing the shadows. All right, let's go ahead and read for Christine V first. And then after I do this reading for Christine, feel free to comment again, and I'll just pick somebody who's, lower on the chat. It's hard to keep up with everybody, so be patient with me. All right, Christine, we've got one card. This is one of the roots that we need to really work on. This is another shadow issue, and this is a more top layer issue that you should recognize first before really getting to the root. So the root of this working, of the shadow work, is the advocate. The light attribute of the advocate inspires you to put compassion into action. How many of us on this stream are advocates? Just give me like an emoji or something if you're also an advocate for something. The shadow attribute of the advocate, this is very important for all of us advocates, embracing negative causes or committing to causes for personal gain. So if you are an advocate, you have to think about your why. And your why can't be, I want to make money or I want to be famous. Personal gain is just not enough to keep you driving, right? Passion is what fuels the world. Passion is what fuels you. So if you want to be an advocate, you want to change people's lives, your why has to be something more important than just money or fame or recognition. So another shadow that we should look at, the God shadow, that goes along with the advocates often. And so we've got the light attribute of benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. Well, the shadow attribute is despotism and cruelty and using power to control other folks. So we need to look at this in our own life, right? We need to look at, where do I want to control others? And I think I talked about this in the last shadow work session as well, last video. Make sure to check that out and replay it, because you can still get energetic clearing and benefit from watching the replays too. But anyways, this is very important because other people have used us, have used their power to harm us. And we have done this to other people as well. So anywhere that you see in your life, like, where am I trying to gain power over people? That's an area where you really need to do shadow work. You really need to think about, why am I trying to get over somebody else? You never want to have power over people. You want to have power with people. So it's not just you who is in power, right? It's the community who's uplifted, who is in power. It's your clients who's uplifted, who is in power. It's everybody. You're bringing everybody up with you. It's not just you. And then the last thing, this is, again, the surface level issue. We need to peel this one back before we get to the root of the issues. Okay. And we've got the addict shadow. And this comes up for me like all the time. So the light attribute of the addict helps you recognize and confront your own addictive behaviors or addictive behaviors in other people. Man, it is not popular if you see your friends doing something that's real unhealthy and it sits really heavy in your own soul and you're like, look, that's unhealthy. I've lost a lot of friends doing that. I've also gained really close people and like vulnerability and like very, very deep, meaningful connections by telling people like, I think you're being unhealthy right now. Remember, there's a way to say everything. So if you see this in your community, the light attribute of the addict is like, hey, I recognize that I've got some imbalanced behaviors and I know how to call it out for other people. Not that we're trying to intentionally like go out and call out people, but I always tell people, keep your balance, right? So if your balance tells you, I would be protected, I would be in balance to say something and to try to help my friend, then you need to do it. But if your balance says, be quiet and let them figure it out, then I guess that's what you need to do too. Now, the shadow attribute of the addict is compromising integrity and honesty and allows addictive patterns to have authority over your inner spirit. So I like putting the addict in this light, right? The addict shadow is basically anything, any action, anything that you do that takes you away from your own intuition. It takes you away from your own inner spirit, your own authority, your own sovereignty. So this, again, this could be like, it's not necessarily drugs and alcohol. It could be, right? But a lot of times this is like overworking, or this is like spending too much time doing something other than what you really should be doing, other than living the passion that is your life. And I think that all of us do that sometimes. And if we haven't done it, other people have done it to us, right? Other people have, instead of taking care of us, taking care of our needs, taking care of their obligations to us, they have allowed, other behaviors to take over. So, Christine, I am witnessing the shadow of the advocate, the God, and the addict with respect and with compassion, and knowing that we can return the shadow to a state of emptiness so that you may align to your best and highest timeline, not just for the benefit of you, but for the benefit of the whole collective. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those ones associated with the advocate shadow, the God shadow, and the addict shadow, to be quantumly disentangled from Christine's energy field and from the energy field of the collective. Clear it and cancel it across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions, because I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements to be quantumly disentangled from Christine's infinite energy field, and I automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those associated with the advocate, the God, and the addict shadows. Clear it and cancel it across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions. Into a boundary of light, back to source to be received, upcycle, recycle, transmute it, and return to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you so much, Christine. I really do love to do these readings. Like, I really do love it. And I feel a lot of energetic benefit when I do these. So I appreciate the opportunity to be able to do this for the community. Oh, let's go ahead and scroll down. Oh no, come on, spammers. Don't spam. Spam or no spamming. There's a lot of spammers today. You guys go ahead and report those people too. Oh, cool. So Cody is wanting to do a shadow session around finding a home. That's very good. That's very good. Yeah, Crystal says so many spammers. I know. What's wrong with you people? Stop spamming. I'm gonna pull shadow work cards for the spammers here in a minute. Call them all out. But but let's go ahead and we're gonna read for Cody. Cody, I'm gonna pull a couple cards for you. All right, so we've got this card. This is the root. Okay, this is another shadow that you should really pay attention to. You got inner child, inner child, inner child. Okay, and this is the surface level issue that you should really peel back before you get to the root of these issues. All right, storyteller. Aha. Okay, so this is interesting, right? The two deeper shadows, again, they're child cards. So that is like inner child work. So this could be like clearing density away from things that you experienced when you were a child, or things that your parents did to you, or other people did to you when you were kids, whether that's bullies, cousins, teachers, who knows. So the first shadow, this is the root, is the orphan child. And the light attribute of the orphan is independence based on learning to go it alone and conquering the fear of surviving. But the shadow attribute is feelings of abandonment that stifle maturation and seeking inappropriate surrogate families. So a lot of times, if your needs weren't taken care of in the past, maybe when you were a kid or maybe sometime before, sometimes it's very difficult to feel safe enough to make good choices, whether it's good money choices or like finding places, finding opportunities choices. A lot of times we just look right past really good opportunities for us because we don't feel safe, we don't feel supported, and we don't feel like we can actually manage those opportunities as they come to us. But sometimes our parents and the people around us also embody the orphan child shadow. And maybe it's not our experience, but their experience has created some density within us. The next shadow that you should look at is this divine child shadow. The light attribute of the divine child is innocence, purity, and redemption, and suggests a special connection with the divine. All children have a special connection with the divine, and we all have that special connection too. But I find many of us, when we turn into old farts, man, we lose our connection, or we feel like we lose it. It's still there. You just have to remember. Now, the shadow attribute is an inability to defend oneself against negative forces. And so this could very well be, it's like, when you were a kid, people picked on you or something, and you couldn't do anything about it because you were a kid. You have sovereignty and authority when you're a kid, but so much of the physical world is controlled by other folks. So we really don't have a lot of power as children. These are things that we really need to think about. Or like I said, maybe this is an issue that you have with somebody else, teachers, parents, or what have you. And they were hurt when they were kids, so they didn't know any better. They didn't know how to be nurturing or how to be what you needed. So it's something good to look at for all of us, definitely. And then this is the top layer onion. We got to peel this back before we can get to the roots, okay? And we've got the storyteller shadow, Cody. So the light attribute of the storyteller is ability to experience and express life through both stories and through symbols. And the shadow attribute is just making up tales that harm other people. So the storyteller often is like lies, like people who are lying about you, or they're just not being truthful, and that's hurting you in some way. That's creating density. So, oh, Cody, thank you for that. But I am witnessing, Cody, the shadows of the orphan child, the divine child, and the storyteller shadow with respect, compassion, understanding, and the wisdom to know that we could return these shadows to a state of emptiness so that we could align with the best timelines, not just for the benefit of ourselves, but for the benefit of all the collective. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. And by my nature, it's my own rainbow energy. I command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those associated with the orphan child, the divine child, and the storyteller shadow, to be hereby quantumly disentangled from Cody's infinite energy field. Clear and cancel across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions, because I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements associated with the orphan child, the divine child, and the storyteller shadow, to be hereby quantumly disentangled from Cody's infinite energy field. Clear it and cancel it across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions, into a boundary of light, back to source, to be received, upcycled, recycled, transmuted, and returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you, Cody. Thank you for that. I hope it was helpful. Oh, and Cody says it was accurate. Yeah, you're very welcome. I hope that helps to clear energy. Remember, these are readings, but they also are energy clearings. That's that chanting that I do at the end of the reading. So this is really powerful stuff, powerful work. That's why I do it. But let's see. Karen says that they would love cards pulled if I have time, for sure. So let's read for Karen. And when I finish Karen's clearing, somebody else, feel free to jump on, and I would love to pull some cards and to do an energy clearing for you as well. Okay, Karen. So this is the root of the issues that we're looking at right now. Oh, you got the same as the collective one we did. The monk nun shadow. Okay. And this is another really deep shadow that you should be looking at. Okay. And this shadow, this is like top layer shadow. It's like you got to look at this one and peel it off before we can really get to the root issue. And that's this one. Okay, very good. Very good. All right, Karen. So the root of the issues that you're experiencing right now, or the density that you're experiencing in your life, is the monk nun shadow. The light attribute of the monk nun is a selfless devotion and single-minded dedication to spirit. And so I think that that's really great. I don't know if every person could have such a single-minded focus on devotion to spirit. I know some people do, but I'm still like same as everybody else, learning and figuring out my spiritual beliefs and thoughts on things. So I'm not sure. Can we all, what do you guys think? Can we all embody a single-minded focus of spirit? Or do some of us have to focus on other things to get stuff done? I'm not sure myself, but the shadow attribute is negative judgment of the physical world and excess piety. And so this is like, people or experiences where others are just like, I'm so good and so holy. I'm a holy roller, a holy Joe, whatever you call it. And also like judging the physical world. Remember, if you're trying to manifest good things in your life, like you're trying to manifest more money, more spiritual awareness, a new house, a partner, I don't care what it is. If you are criticizing the physical world consistently, it's very hard to manifest those things. It's very hard to get in alignment with yourself and your inner being when you are so critical. And sometimes, again, we have these critical patterns in ourselves where we're so judgmental. Other times, that's how we were raised, or that's how other people have acted to us. They've put so much judgment and criticisms on us. And so that can cause density in our own life. It can give us beliefs that really, they don't help us. They don't belong to us. So the next shadow we'll look at is another deep shadow. Karen, this is the alchemist shadow. And the light attribute is transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. And the shadow attribute is misuse of power and knowledge that come through spiritual practice. So I feel like, the alchemist is like turning nothing into gold, like making something really super valuable. And like the basically the shadow of that is like, I think, misusing your power. Like you have power, you have personal power, and sometimes you don't use it for what you should use it for. Or sometimes we just forget, man. We don't take inventory of our skills, of our tools, of what we're going through. We forget how much personal power we actually have. And remember, all of your power, your experience, your skills, your knowledge, everything is like a little energy ball that makes up who you are, and it brings you forward in your life path. So it's important to remember those things and to use those things. Use them for the benefit of yourself. Use them for the benefit of your community. And again, remember, not power over people, but we're having power with. We're all getting on the elevator and going up. And this is the last shadow. This is surface level, something you really got to peel off before you can get to that root, the root of the healing. And this is the visionary shadow. Light attribute of the visionary is capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others, and a willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain. While the shadow attribute is selling insights to the highest bidder and compromising your vision to make it more acceptable. So, Karen, it's possible, maybe, that you have like an important something, dream, story, message that needs to be given to other folks or your community, or maybe it's just something you need to unlock for yourself, but you're watering yourself down. You're watering yourself down to make yourself more acceptable, or whatever that means. Or this could have happened to other people where they water themselves down and it didn't give you what you needed. So, Karen, I am witnessing the shadow of the monk nun, the alchemist, and the visionary with respect, compassion, and wisdom to know that we can return these shadows to a state of emptiness and align to our best and highest timelines, not just for the benefit of ourselves, but for the benefit of the collective. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. And by my nature is my own rainbow energy. I command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those associated with the monk nun shadow, the alchemist shadow, and the visionary shadow, to be hereby quantumly disentangled from Karen's infinite energy field and from the field of the collective. Clear it and cancel it across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions, because I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those associated with the monk nun shadow, the alchemist shadow, and the visionary shadow. And I hereby quantumly disentangle these issues from Karen's infinite field and from the field of the collective. Clear it and cancel it across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions into a boundary of light, back to source to be received, upcycled, recycled, transmuted, and returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you, Karen. Okay, guys, let me look at all this. Oh, Cody said they like to go back and look at the replay and listen and see what others are doing. Ruth, I would love to give you a reading. Emily Sue Hicks says, maybe try a reading if time allows. Struggle with life balance as a working mom. And I love being a mom and love working and serving working moms, but I feel like I struggle. Yeah, I feel you there. Hi, Ms. Shorty. Karen said they had done that in the past. Yeah, I feel like we all do a lot of these things. It's good to clear them out, though. Karen says, thank you. You are very welcome. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe, thumbs up, all that good stuff, and share. Share this work with other people, too. So I'm going to go ahead and, Ruth, I would love to do a reading for you. Emily Sue Hicks, I would love to do a reading for you as well. So let me read for Ruth, and then I will read for Emily. All right, Ruth, here we go. Let me just shuffle these cards for a second. Got to find the right one. Okay, this is the root to the density that you're experiencing right now. I feel like this is, when I read this card, you're going to be like, yeah, I get it. This is another pretty deep issue that you should really focus on. And this is one of those surface level issues. Remember, you got to get rid of that surface issue before you can really get to the root, the meat and bones of everything. Beautiful. Ms. Shorty, yeah, sure. I would love to read for you. Let me read for Ruth, Emily, and then we'll go for Ms. Shorty. And then after that, anybody else who's live, we can pull cards for you as well. All right, Ruth. So the root of the density you're facing is the rebel shadow. So the light attribute of the rebel challenges authority to effect social change and rejects spiritual systems that do not serve inner needs. That's beautiful, right? That's beautiful. That's a light attribute of the rebel. We all need to embody this, right? Because the world, systems, power structures are oppressive. They're oppressive in nature because they try to unify everything. They don't care about individual needs. So there has to be people out there that are rebelling against authorities and power structures that are harmful to others or oppressive to others. Now, the shadow attribute of the rebel is respecting legitimate authority out of, or rejecting legitimate authority out of anger, and rebels out of peer pressure or out of fashion, just because, oh, makes me look fashionable or something. So I really identify with the rebel shadow. I feel like I've done this in myself through my own like birth advocacy work, where I just got really angry at like all of the power structures and was just like, I'm done with everybody. And that is like also not good, because we can't have complete chaos. We have to have legitimate authority. We have to have good, conscious power structures. So we need to look at that in ourselves. And when I say we, I mean me. But also, deep layer shadow for you, Ruth, is the shapeshifter shadow. So light attribute of the shapeshifter is the skills at navigating through different levels of consciousness and the ability to see potential in all things. Well, the shadow attribute is projecting any image that serves your personal agenda in the moment. So you or other people, other agents have hurt you and your family and your ancestors with the shadow of the shapeshifter. So that is basically like being two-faced or being multiple-faced, right? Just switching personalities and not relying on authenticity and just doing whatever and basically tricking you or hurting you in some way. So that's very deep, and a lot of people either do that or it's been done to them. And this is a top layer shadow. So it's like you've done a lot of work on this, but like there's still a little bit more that needs to be done. We're going to just peel it back and then really get to the root. And this is the lover shadow. So the light attribute of the lover is great passion and devotion and unbridled appreciation of someone or something. Well, the shadow attribute is obsessive passion that harms others and self-destructive devotion. So what in your life now or in the past have you had a self-destructive devotion to? Something very important to think about. Or again, all of these cards could be something you embody or something that somebody else did to you. They embodied this pattern and they hurt you, or they hurt your parents, they hurt your ancestors, they hurt people who were meant to take care of you. So Ruth, I am witnessing the shadow of the rebel, the shapeshifter, and the lover with respect, love, compassion, and wisdom, knowing that we can return these shadows to a state of emptiness and that we can all align to our best and highest timelines, not just for the benefit of ourselves, but for the benefit of the collective. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. And by my nature is my own rainbow energy. I command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those associated with the rebel, the shapeshifter, and the lover to be hereby quantumly disentangled from Ruth's infinite field and also from the fields of the collective. Clear it and cancel it across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions. Because I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, especially those associated with the rebel shadow, the shapeshifter shadow, and the lover shadow. And I hereby quantumly disentangle these from Ruth's infinite energy field and from the field of the collective. Clear it and cancel it across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions into a boundary of light, back to source to be received, upcycle, recycle, transmute it, and return to love. So would it be, and so it is. Thank you, Ruth. I hope that was helpful. You said it was spot on. That's pretty funny. But let's go ahead. We will read for Emily Sue Hicks. So basically what I get from your comment, Emily, and tell me if I'm like not reading it right or something, but it seems like you're having like a little bit of, density surrounding work-life balance, which if you have any kind of family or pets or even hobbies for that matter, and you work, which most of us do, yeah, we all struggle with that balance. We all struggle with that. We all struggle with like wanting to basically like be able to provide for ourselves and then also like making time for spirit, making time for our passions, making time for the people that we're supposed to take care of, and making time for our careers. And we got to like advance in our careers and like get a paycheck, and like there's a lot that's involved in life. There's a lot. Oh, Emily says yes, work, love, finances, self, etc. I feel ya. Okay, so we'll pull some cards for you, and then we're going to work on Ms. Shorty. Ruth says, thank you. You're very welcome. Thanks for commenting again, Ms. Shorty. All right, Ruth, or Emily. Emily, this is the card that is the root of your density right now. Guide. All right, I got something to say about that. It like hit me like a ton of bricks when I flipped that card over. All right, another deep level shadow. And shadow that's on the top. You've done a lot of work about this, but we still got to do a little bit more and peel it off. April, I would love to read for you. I've got Ms. Shorty ahead of you. I'm going to finish Emily's reading, and then we can read for April. Okay, Emily, the guide shadow is the root of the density that you're experiencing right now. Shadow attribute places financial gain and control over imparting spiritual insight. I can't remember how I know you. I feel like you're a birth worker, but I can't remember because I know too many people. But I feel like when I started my business, my birth business, my wellness business, that I listened to a lot of bad advice. Okay. I listened to a lot of guides and gurus and like business professionals, and they all told me how to run a successful business. They told me I needed to post 6 or 7 times a day on my pages. I needed to constantly keep putting out content, that I needed to just work myself to the death. And that was the only way that I was going to build a business or find clients. And so I have had to undo a lot of the business learning that I have done. And now like I make a decent amount of money and I don't advertise and I don't market myself. I don't want to do it. Like, I just don't have space for it in my own existence. And I believe in like attraction marketing. I believe that if I put valuable content out, and if I tell people that I'm really good at what I do and other people also think I'm really good at what I do, that I'm going to find clients. And so anybody here who is a business owner or who works with clients or is self-employed, I really want you to think about things and in terms of abundance, in terms of attraction, and get rid of like scarcity mindset. I know that it's easier said than done, and I've done a lot of work to kind of get to that point in mindset, but a lot of the business gurus out there, they tell you things that are not helpful, and they tell you things that are way overboard, and they don't necessarily work for you. They tell you how they built their business, not necessarily how you're going to build your business. So just take that into consideration. Just because somebody gives you really good advice doesn't necessarily mean it's good for you. So think about that, okay? And a lot of times guides are well-meaning. So this is why we do shadow work. It's not like we should be angry at the people who gave us advice that wasn't good for us. It was really good advice objectively, just not the best for us. So witnessing the guide. Another shadow that you really should look at, Emily. Oh, Emily says you taught a class for me and my husband that's finally swayed him to support me and help me pick up momentum to do what I do as well and successfully deliver a 10.5-pound baby at home. Dang, Emily, I think I remember you now. We did like an online Zoom class. That is amazing. So like just remember, like I said, not everybody who gives advice is good advice. So it's good advice for them, not necessarily for you. But another deep shadow that we need to look at is the night shadow. The light attribute is loyalty, romance, chivalry, a love of honor. Shadow attribute is allegiance to a destructive ruler or principle and romantic delusions. Again, I had a lot of delusions about business. Again, this might not be about business for you. It's about balance. For me, because I run a business and balance is like hand in hand for me. So like I felt like I had this romantic idea about running a business or whatever, how much money I could make or how much I actually had to work doing marketing. And it wasn't true for me. It wasn't grounded in reality for me. And so make sure that you are not giving your allegiance, your attention, your energy to things that are destructive, whether that is principles, ideas that somebody else gave you, advice that somebody else gave you. Very important to think about that. And then the top layer shadow is a pioneer shadow. So the light attribute of the pioneer is passion in doing and creating what has not yet been done before. And the shadow attribute is a compulsive need to move on. So you've done a lot of work on this one, the need to move on. And this, again, this might be something that you embody, or these cards, it could be something that somebody else has put over you, a density that they have put over you. And so a compulsive need to keep moving on is basically the inability to maintain or repair things. So it's like, throwaway culture essentially. And we do that with our items, right? We'd rather throw things away than actually sit and take the time to repair it or get that spare part. And I think that's pretty harmful, right? And it's not your fault or my fault or anyone's fault. It's just this is how collective society and culture is going right now. So we need to be super intentional about not throwing everything away, being like really good about reusing. This goes also for relationships, right? This goes for relationships and experiences as well. The minute somebody makes you angry, you can't just throw them away. I mean, you could, but then you'll end up alone. You'll end up with no friends. You'll end up with no connections, no partners, nobody who you can be vulnerable and safe with. So this is definitely important. I see this as like a colonized pillar, like a colonial pillar in our colonized system. The compulsive need to keep moving on, to keep discovering, just to keep on doing things instead of just appreciating and honoring the things that we have. So again, people have embodied these, or you have embodied these, or agents have put these shadows over you and your family and your ancestors. So Emily, I am witnessing the shadow of the guide, the knight, and the pioneer with respect, compassion, love, and the wisdom to know that we could return these shadows to a state of emptiness while aligning to our best and highest timelines, not just for the benefit of ourselves, but for the benefit of the collective. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I automatically transmute and command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those ones associated with the guide shadow, the night shadow, and the pioneer shadow, to be hereby quantumly disentangled from Emily's quantum field and from the field of the collective. Cleared and canceled across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions, because I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those associated with the guide shadow, the night shadow, and the pioneer shadow. Cleared and canceled it across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions into a boundary of light, back to source to be received, upcycled, recycled, transmuted, and then returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you so much, Emily. I hope that was helpful. All right, my friends. I had an order, but then I forgot. I think we're going to work on Ms. Shorty next, and then April. So after I do Ms. Shorty and then April, anybody else who would like a reading, feel free to comment again. And you guys can keep commenting and showing support or telling me what you think of all this stuff. But I just need a little space with readings. It's so hard to like keep up with everybody and stay intentional and present with the reading. So I appreciate you guys being kind to me in chat. All right, Ms. Shorty. we are going to pull these cards now. I've shuffled them. Okay, this is the root of your density. Dang, so we just cleared the Pioneer shadow as the kind of top layer shadow. Now you get it as the root. This is the root of one of your issues. Okay, this is another really dark, heavy issue. Not dark, just dense. Okay, and then this is a top layer issue, one that you've probably done some work on, but we gotta clear it off. Okay, all right, so Ms. Shorty, the root of your issues is the Pioneer shadow. Remember, this is the compulsive need to keep moving on. And so this could be you. This could be something that you embody, or it could be something that somebody else embodies. So it could be like a partner. What does that look like? What does it look like if your partner or your parents or somebody close to you has a compulsive need to keep moving on? It looks like they don't know how to maintain a relationship. It looks like they don't know clear communication. It looks like they're always looking for the next thing instead of paying attention to you because you're right there. You're right there. You're right in front of them, and they can't see you because they're so distracted by everything else that's going on. So whether this is something that you embody or something somebody else has embodied and put a shadow over you with, we're going to clear that. We're going to recognize that. But it's something to look at, something to think about. And again, I really feel like a lot of these shadows, but especially the Pioneer, it's rooted in that colonialism. It's rooted in that need to keep moving on, keep discovering, keep making money, and forgetting about everything else. The next shadow is it's a pretty big shadow, is the Trickster shadow, which is the light attribute of transcending convention, stuffiness, and predictable behavior. Chaos, basically. And the shadow attribute is manipulating others through duplicity. So basically like being a little chaotic or shifty and like manipulating folks. Yeah, think like Loki, right? I really love Loki and like other kind of chaos stories. And there's chaos myths in like every single pantheon or religion and with every people, basically, like every heritage. And so chaos is not a bad thing, and it's not a good thing either. Like it's just a neutral thing that exists. And chaos often inspires us to become aligned, to learn new lessons, to find new things to do that are really super fun and interesting, that teach us and that heal us. But sometimes chaos can be bad chaos too. It can be like, ooh, that was chaotic and I did not like that. So don't let chaos get a bad rap, right? Chaos can be a good thing in our experience. You can attract new things. You can attract fun things. You can attract blessings that nobody expected. So just because things are chaotic, it doesn't have to be bad. Remember that everything is born through chaos, and you can create order through chaos. So honor the chaos in your life. And then one of the top layer shadows we're going to peel off. It's like, you know, you worked on this a little bit, but we're going to revisit it again, is the light or the companion shadow. And the light attribute of the companion is loyalty, tenacity, and unselfishness. But the shadow attribute is betrayal by misusing confidences and a loss of personal identity. So this could be like, you know, when you have friends and connections, companions, basically, and they misuse your basically like their proximity to you, their confidence in you, the vulnerability and the connection that you have. And it can also look like after a period of time where you become codependent and lose your identity because you're companions with that person, you become so intermeshed and intermingled. So it's important to look at those codependency aspects in yourself and in your experiences in your relationships. And again, these are all things that either you embody or people have put these shadows over you. So Miss Shorty, I am witnessing the shadow of the Pioneer, the Trickster, and the Companion with respect and compassion and love, and with the wisdom to know we could return these shadows to a state of emptiness and align to our best and highest timelines, not just for the benefit of ourselves, but for the benefit of the entire collective. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those ones associated with the Pioneer shadow, the Trickster shadow, and the Companion shadow, to be hereby quantumly disentangled from Miss Shorty's infinite energy field and from the fields of the collective. Clear it and cancel it across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions, because I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those associated with the Pioneer Shadow, the Trickster Shadow, and the Companion Shadow. And I hereby quantumly disentangle these issues from Ms. Shorty's infinite energy field. Cleared and canceled across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions. Into a boundary of light, back to source to be received, upcycled, recycled, transmuted, and returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you so much, Ms. Shorty. I hope that that was helpful to you. And D3 says, hey, hope all is well. Things are pretty well with me, my friend. We're doing readings, shadow work readings, and energy clearings. So these, all of these readings, they benefit us. They benefit the collective, and they benefit our energy. They help us remove density and hardship and pain. Very big stuff. Very big stuff. Oh, something just fell out. That's probably for me, huh? All right, let me scroll up. Okay, so OKC Mama said that they would love to get on the list. Let's go ahead and pull one of these readings for OKC Mama. And you guys, if you'd like a reading after OKC Mama, feel free to comment, and I would love to D3. Yeah, let's read for OKC Mama, and then I'll go ahead and read for D3. I can connect with you, and I can use D3 to connect with you and to clear. But if you want, you can also put your name in the comments if you would prefer that, but it doesn't matter to me. Energy works with intention. Hey, OKC Mama, this just fell out. This is yours. Oh, of course. That's a great one to get for the root. So the root card that you got is the victim. So we'll really look at that. Oh man, OKC Mama said they sent PayPal donation. Thank you so much, my friend. That's awesome. I appreciate that. Tell you what, when I do readings, if you guys send me money, I go out and get Indian food. Like, no joke. Like, Indian food is spicy. It's very good. I feel like it's healing for me. So when you send me money, I go get good food. Then we got the God Shadow. That's another heavy level shadow. And let's see. Oh, that one fell out. So that's definitely the one. And then Don Juan. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. So this... Deja. That's a beautiful name, D3. Okay, OKC Mama. This is an interesting reading, I think. The root issue that we're looking at right now is the victim. This comes up all the time for me. I get the victim, I get the martyr, I get the addict. Like, those are my three main shadows. When I pull signatures, it's like those always show up for me. So anyways, but the victim shadow is at the root of your issues. This is something I think, maybe, I don't know, maybe I've never met somebody that doesn't have a victim shadow and somebody out there exists. But I think that everybody alive really needs to check their victim shadows. Again, a victim shadow is playing victim for positive feedback in the form of pity and an inability to maintain personal boundaries. And so other people could do this to you, right? Other people could not be able to maintain healthy boundaries. And you could like keep setting good boundaries with yourself, with your own heart, and then they just trample over them. And those people are playing the victim. Like, that's not okay. Or you could do that. That's for sure. And then also wanting pity, basically, from the stories that you tell yourself or from others. So this is important to understand that the victim shadow can be played out in relationships. It can look like, you know, us gathering allies, basically, and like telling our friends or telling our companions, all this horrible stuff happened to me. I want you to feel pity for me. And that's, again, bad energy. I say this like every shadow work reading, but pity is real bad energy. It's real low vibrational, not good for our alignment. Or it can look like you doing this in your own head, which I think this might be maybe something I do, but it's more like, you know, you tell stories, right? Where somebody else is the villain and you're the victim. You are the victim. You are the one who is righteous. You're the one who is wronged. And so I encourage everyone listening today, when you start to tell stories to yourself or to others where somebody else is the bad guy, it's really time to think about that story a little deeper and think, where am I neglecting my role in this story? What part did I play to contribute to this outcome? Again, something we all need to be conscious of and thinking of. Another heavy level shadow with this is the shadow of God, which is, you know, light attribute, benevolence, compassion, recognizing the God within you and the God within other people. That's very, very, very blessed and beautiful. But the shadow attribute is cruelty and using your power to control other people. And so who here has been controlled by somebody else's powers, right? Whether that's the government, religion, just other people in general, right? Parents, teachers, whoever was supposed to take care of you, these people have an element of control over you. So this is something very important that we need to really look at in our lives, to really look at. Sorry about the spammers, guys. And then the top layer shadow, this is something you've done a lot of work on. You've recognized this shadow a lot, and you're returning it to a state of emptiness in your own life. But the top layer shadow, OKC Mama, is the shadow of Don Juan. And so the light attribute is spotlighting your positive, seductive qualities. And we all have positive, charismatic qualities that are beautiful and that are very beneficial to us and to our communities. But the shadow attribute is using the power of romantic attraction for private agendas. So the Don Juan could be you, right? Or it could be other people in your life. It could be people who refuse to settle down in a romantic or charismatic way who are hurting you, basically, with that shadow, who have hurt you in the past. And so, again, teachers, parents, cousins, I don't even know. Anybody could embody these shadows and could put that density over you. So it's time now to recognize these shadows. So OKC Mama, I am witnessing the victim, the God, and the Don Juan shadow with respect and with compassion and with love and with wisdom, knowing that we can return these shadows to a state of emptiness and align to our best and highest timelines, not just for the benefit of ourselves, but for the benefit of the entire collective. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those ones associated with the victim, the God, and the Don Juan shadow to be hereby quantumly disentangled from OKC Mama's infinite energy field and from the fields of the collective. Clear it and cancel it across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions, because I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I hereby automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, especially those associated with the victim shadow, the God shadow, and the Don Juan shadow. And I hereby quantumly disentangle these issues from OKC Mama's infinite energy field and from the energy field of the collective. Clear it and cancel it across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions into a boundary of light, back to source to be received, upcycled, recycled, transmuted, and returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you, OKC Mama, and I hope that was helpful and clears a lot of energy for you. Man with the spammers, they always say the same messages. It makes me wonder if it's like the same person on like 20 different accounts. All right, my friends, so I'm going to go ahead and we're going to pull some cards for Deja, and anybody else who is watching who would like to have an energy clearing and to have some cards pulled for them, feel free to comment. And remember, you can tell me about, a situation in the comments, or you can just, pull some cards generally and kind of see what comes up for you. I don't have a preference. I think both are very powerful ways to do this. OKC Mama, you're very welcome. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you. I have to tell you guys. Oh, April, I'm so sorry. Okay, I'll read for Deja and then I'll read for you, April. I have to tell you guys a really wild story, though. I was on TikTok last night, and I have my feed's all spiritual people and healers, which is great. But there's this guy that does throat singing, and my cat has been dealing with some ailments, and this guy started throat singing. My cat jumped from the other room into my bed and just was sitting with me and looking at me and making eye contact with me, and I just had that guy throat singing on repeat for an hour, and it was the sweetest thing. Should I post a picture later of my kitty? Because she's so cute. I'm again, a crazy cat lady, and people are like, you're not crazy, you're just a cat lady. I'm like, no, I am crazy about my cat. I love her so much. But anyways, enough about my cat. Deja, these are nice and shuffled for you. This is the root, the mediator. Okay. And this is another heavy, dense level shadow. Okay. And then this is a shadow top layer. Maybe you've done some work on it, or maybe it's not that dense. OKC Mama says, yes, tag me in the throat singing for my kitty. That's wonderful. Okay, top layer. It's this one. Okay. Bully. Okay, so you've done some work on that. You've recognized that one. Okay, all right, Deja. The root of the density that you're experiencing right now is the mediator. Okay, the light attribute of the mediator is a gift for negotiating fairness and strategy in personal and professional life, or respecting both sides of the argument. You're able to hear what everybody is saying, and you're able to mediate that energy. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. The shadow attribute, however, is negotiating with an ulterior motive or hidden agenda, either personally or professionally. And so sometimes you do that, right? Sometimes you can embody that. A lot of times the mediator shadow is like somebody forced you to be a mediator. And this could be something that has happened to you over the course of your life. Maybe you just have an energy configuration where you're pretty harmonious, and people like your mediation. People like your ability to communicate with them and to see, all the energy that's going on and to find fair solutions and resolutions. But abusers, narcissists, dense level people, and people that take advantage, so like pretty much everybody, can use mediators basically to get a leg up and as a way to hurt you. And so a lot of times it's called like triangulation. Have you ever heard of that? Where somebody basically like tells one person one thing and tells you a different thing, and then uses all that energy to create chaos in your life. And basically they're putting you in the center and saying, all right, you got to go talk to them and like make things better for them, because I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to be the mediator and handle my own problems. And so this could be, again, a deep level shadow where somebody has forced you into that mediator role, where they've forced you kind of to be the key peacekeeper in your experience, whether that's with family or with other friends or things like that. For me, I was a peacekeeper when I was a kid for a lot of my family, because I've always been like mature or something. Everybody's always been like, you're such an old soul. And now that I'm getting old, like people say that less. But when you're like 6 and you're like handling everybody's problems, people are like, you're an old soul. I'm like, thank you. But this could be something to look at. Yeah, Deja says a friend of mine has been doing some of that. Yeah, I could see that. And so another deep layer shadow is the virgin shadow. The light attribute of the virgin is maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit, while the shadow attribute is a fear of intimate union. So my friend, Deja, if people are constantly triangulating you and putting you on the spot to be the peacekeeper, is it possible that that causes some fear of intimate union? I'm going to go out on a limb and say yes. I know that that's been a really huge issue for me, and something that I have to work to recognize in my own life so I can make better choices, and so that I can basically like recognize that negative pattern in myself. Like, yeah, I don't want to get close to anybody, and then undo that density surrounding it so I can have good, authentic relationships. And I think that's something I'm still working on. I'm still working to feel like good and safe and vulnerable around other folks. So I think this is definitely a work in progress. It's something that we should all think about. And remember, all of these cards, all of these shadows, it could be things that you embody or things people have done to you or your ancestors or people who were supposed to take care of you. Yes. Yeah. Deja said that's been giving her social anxiety, or them. It's been giving them social anxiety. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. And so now, Deja, this is a top layer shadow. Again, you probably have recognized this in some capacity, but now it's time to really dig into it so we can get to the root of that mediator issue. And so the top layer shadow is the bully. And the light attribute is highlighting your tendency to intimidate others so that you don't do that anymore. And it helps you confront your inner fears that bully you. So, like if you have inner self-critic or repeating thought cycles and patterns that aren't helpful or don't serve you, you can confront those things with having the light empowered attribute of the bully. The shadow attribute of the bully conceals deep fears behind verbal and physical abuse. That could be part of the triangulation issue. It could be totally unrelated. Who knows? But I am witnessing, Deja, the shadow of the mediator, the virgin, and the bully with respect, compassion, understanding, and the wisdom to know that we can move forward and return these shadows to a state of emptiness while aligning to the best timeline, not just for the benefit of ourselves, but for the benefit of the collective. Yes. Thank you very much. And I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those ones associated with the mediator shadow, the virgin shadow, and the bully shadow, so that those may be quantumly disentangled from Deja's infinite field and from the field of the collective. Clear it and cancel it across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions. Because I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those associated with the mediator shadow, the virgin shadow, and the bully shadow. And I hereby quantumly disentangle these issues from Deja's infinite energy field and from the fields of the collective. Clear it and cancel it across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions into a boundary of light, back to source to be received, upcycled, recycled, transmuted, and returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you, Deja. Deja says, thank you. I really needed to hear this, and I appreciate it. Awesome. Ooh, that's so good. Deja says, I've been taking a step back for about 2 weeks to reflect on what I could do to move forward. That's amazing. Hopefully the energy clearing helps you. Again, these cards are called Archetype Cards by Carolyn Miss. Y'all can get these on Amazon. Maybe I'll post a link in this video. I'll post a link to the cards. But I mean, they're really good cards. They're really good. And there's 80 different archetypes here. So you can pull these cards about your own situations, you know, and you can pull as many as you need. A lot of times when I do like ceremony for people, I use the pendulum, and I'll ask basically like, how many cards do I need by asking the pendulum. And so you could do that as well. Or you could just pull a couple or do as many as your intuition leads you. But anybody can do this. Anybody can do this. And it's a really great way to make shadow work more real and less abstract. Okay, April, we're going to shuffle these cards. I really got to shuffle. Oh, Deja said they're going to check them out. Very good. Hang on, April. Let me shuffle. Okay. We got to knock again. Pulling out all the stops for you, April. I think you commented about what you were. Let me scroll up really quick. Stay-at-home mom, homeschooling, marriage, all that stuff. Okay, all right. So this card is the root to the density that you're experiencing, April. And anybody else who's still watching this, feel free to jump in and to comment. And when I'm finished with April, I'd love to pull some cards for you and to also do an energy clearing for you. Okay, it's this one. All right, that's the root. April says yes, yes. Okay, April, here we go. And this card, this is another deep issue that you got to look at. Okay. And this is top layer issue. It fell out, so that's the one. Hang on. I need to get like a little kid or a little person or something to come get the cards that I drop. An assistant. Oh, goodness. Okay, and the queen, that's top layer. Maybe you've recognized some of it and done some work on it. Now it's time to peel it back. All right, so the root issue is the mystic. So the light attribute of the mystic is reveling in an intimate union with the divine, and the shadow attribute is the delusional rapport with the divine. So this could be like, it could be you, right? Of course, but it could be other people, right? It could be people who've experienced spiritual leaders. It could be, I don't know, could be parents, could be teachers who had a delusional rapport with the divine. So they basically made it seem like they know everything. They know much more than you do. They've got the connection to the divine, and you need them basically to like connect to the divine. This is not true, of course. This is not true. Separation is a lie of the ego. It's a lie that power structures tell you, but we're not separated from the divine. So this is an important thing for all of us to consider, this mystic shadow. We are all the mystic, and we all have a rapport. We all have a connection with the divine. So don't ever get crossed and think, oh, somebody else has got a better connection than I do. because we all have that connection. We all have it. Now, another shadow is something pretty heavy, pretty dense, and it's the femme fatale. The light attribute of the femme fatale highlights the erotic energy of the feminine and opens your heart when your dependency is rejected. And the shadow attribute is inappropriate use of sensuality and attachment to money and power. So it is called femme fatale. This could be women in your life. It could be you. Could be men also. Men could embody this shadow just as well. Again, this could be you, or it could be people in your experience who embody the shadow and who have put density over you. So we're going to work to clear that away. And again, this is attachment to money and power. So being more attached to those things than spirit, being more attached to those things than you, being more attached to those things than your boundaries, being more attached to those things. So witnessing that shadow, witnessing that. And then this is the top layer shadow. Again, you've done a lot of work on this, but it's something that you are still recognizing, and we're going to peel it back. So this is the queen, and the light attribute of the queen radiates the regal feminine and uses her benevolent authority to protect others. Do you embody that? Do you feel like that? Any femmes watching, or maybe even the dudes that are watching too, huh? Do you ever embody that regal authority and just stand up for other people because it feels good? I do that sometimes, and I feel like it's a really empowering experience. So I'm like 10 out of 10 recommending that to you guys. But the shadow attribute is becoming arrogant when your authority is challenged. I've never done that. That's a lie, by the way. I do that all the time. And controlling and demanding. So again, all these shadows, something that you embody or something that somebody else has embodied, and they put that density over you. It hasn't allowed you to become your authentic self, your most real self, because that density is surrounding you. So we're going to work to clear these shadows now. All right, April. I am witnessing the shadow of the mystic, the femme fatale, and the queen with respect, compassion, love, and the wisdom to know we could return these shadows to a state of emptiness while aligning to our best and highest timeline. Not just the best for you, the best for me, but the best for the entire collective. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those ones associated with the mystic shadow, the femme fatale shadow, and the queen shadow, to be hereby quantumly disentangle and remove from April's infinite field and from the fields of the collective. Clear it and cancel it across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions, because I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those associated with the mystic, the femme fatale, and the queen. And I hereby quantumly disentangle these issues from April's infinite field and from the fields of the collective. Clear it and cancel it across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions, into a boundary of light, back to source to be received, upcycled, recycled, transmuted, and returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you so much, April. I love your comments. Thank you so much for being so interactive with us. Now, Anna commented and would like to get a reading. Let's go ahead and we'll pull some cards for Anna A. And anybody else who's still watching, if you would like a reading and an energy clearing, feel free to comment. And like I said, you can put an issue, a subject, an experience that you're having, a question maybe, or you could just comment and I'll do something generally. Doesn't matter to me. They're both equally as powerful. I honestly feel like when you comment here, you should just go with your intuition, because spirit speaks through your intuition. So sometimes it's general, sometimes it's not. But let's go ahead. We'll do general for Anna. And Anna, this is the root to the density you experience right now. Hero, heroine. I like that one. Oh no. Okay, one fell out, but I don't know where it went. I've got to find it. Dang. All right, the Liberator. I'm glad I went diving for that one. Okay, and this is the last one, right? This is top layer issue. Again, maybe something that you've recognized a little in yourself, but time to really explore it now. Just rip that Band-Aid off. All right, here's the top one. Oh, dang, we get another queen. That's amazing. We just got that one as a top layer issue in the last reading. Oh, Brittany, I didn't do a reading for you yet. I would love to do a reading for you. But we're going to read for Anna Ashby right now. So Anna. All right. All right. The root of the density you're experiencing, Anna, is the hero-heroine. The light attribute of the hero-heroine is passion for journey of personal empowerment. My favorite quote by the Buddha is, "It's better to travel well than to arrive." And what that means basically is life is a journey, and we are walking a journey, right? We're not walking a destination. We're not walking a point A to point B. We're just walking. We're just enjoying ourselves here and now. And we're always going to keep doing that. We're just going to keep on walking, keep on journeying. There is no epitome, right? There is no peak. There is no totally awoke and enlightened. There is none. We don't reach that. We just keep walking and uncovering more about ourselves. We keep doing shadow work. We keep digging deeper into our own shadows. We keep opening up energy for ourselves, and we keep on aligning with amazing possibilities. And that's what the light attribute of the hero-heroine is. Being a hero, being a heroine, being an adventurer, just for the sake of it, just for the sake of the journey. Now, the shadow attribute is escapism and a false sense of heroism. So this is like stepping in and being the hero for somebody else who doesn't want your help, or maybe that other person has got it. There's Norse pagans. They have this like, and I'm probably going to butcher this, so be nice to me. But they have this concept that not all battles are meant for you, right? Some people have their own battles, and they're meant to overcome those struggles by themselves. And they have so much respect and glory and honor for going through that experience and figuring it out themselves. So we don't always need to step in and save other folks. So this is really what that's talking about. And this could be, experiences where people have stepped in and basically taken power from you, taken power from your experience. Or it could be experiences where you or somebody else kind of escapes reality and responsibility to go do something else. So, disassociation. Another heavy layer issue with this is the liberator, right? The light attribute of the liberator is freeing yourself and others from outmoded beliefs and releasing negative thought patterns. Anna, this is what we're doing right now. We are doing the work of the liberator by doing these shadow sessions, and everybody who is watching is taking up the work of liberation. When you watch or replay this, you take up the work of liberation. And so the shadow attributes of this, though, is imposing your own tyranny over those who you claim to liberate and ignoring legitimate constraints, right? Ignoring legitimate constraints. So not everything is meant to be liberated. Again, I think that really goes with the hero-heroine thing that I was talking about. All right, Anna says, yeah, I'm always helping people with their problems. Yeah. And who helps you, Anna? Who helps you? Somebody asked me that one time because I used to be the chronic over helper. And I was like, nobody helps me. And it was like a really hard realization moment that I was like out here helping everybody else and nobody was helping me. And part of the reason why nobody would help me was because I was helping everybody else and I wouldn't let people help me. So like people just thought, oh, she's good. She don't need no help, because I wasn't allowing people to help me. I wasn't making my needs known. So it's really important to look at that. Are you able to ask for help? Are you able to work on yourself? Are you chronically escaping to help other people's problems because you don't want to look at your own because they're heavy, That's definitely what I was doing. And I probably still do that a little bit, but I'm working on it. But the last thing that we should look at, this is a top layer shadow. Again, you've recognized some of this. You've done some work on it. And now is the time to really deeply look into it. And this is a shadow of the queen. So again, light attribute of the queen is radiating the regal, feminine, and using your benevolent authority to protect others, especially those who are not as fortunate. They don't have as much privilege. They don't have whatever. You can step in. You can actually help people, which is different from this escapism help. It's different from this hero-heroine help where you're taking stuff from people. You can offer without taking. And then the shadow attribute of the queen is becoming arrogant when your authority is challenged and being controlling and demanding. So remember, Anna, these are all things that either you embody or they're things that other people have done to you. And I just want to say this because I don't think I've said it yet in this particular video, but like, if you embody some of these things, it's more than likely, like 98% of the time, not because you were born that way, but because somebody else first showed you that shadow and put that shadow over you. So that's kind of just like an energy channel or a pattern that you slipped into. So most of these shadows, it's because somebody did this to us. So we have to recognize that other people who hurt us or who teach us bad things, they're doing it just because they don't know any better. They're as wounded as we are, sometimes more. So it's important to understand that. But I forgot your name. Anna. There we go. I'm looking at the chat. So Anna, I am witnessing the shadow of the hero heroine, the liberator, and the queen with respect, compassion, love, understanding, and the wisdom to know that we could do better and remove these shadows, turn them to a state of emptiness while aligning to our best and highest timeline, not just for the benefit of ourselves, but for the benefit of the entire collective. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those ones associated with the hero-heroine shadow, the liberator shadow, and the queen shadow to be hereby quantumly disentangled from Anna's infinite field and from the fields of the collectives. Clear it and cancel it across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions, because I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those associated with the hero-heroine, the liberator, and the queen. And I hereby quantumly disentangle those issues from Anna's infinite field and from the fields of the collective. Clear it and cancel it across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions into a boundary of light, back to source to be received, upcycled, recycled, transmuted, and then returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you so much, Anna. I appreciate you, and I hope that that clearing was helpful. We'll go ahead now and shuffle again, and then pull cards for Brittany Glover, and then anybody else who's still watching this. If you would like a reading and an energy clearing, feel free to comment. And let's see. Hang on, I gotta shuffle. I gotta focus on this shuffling. I can't talk and shuffle at the same time sometimes. All right, and the other thing I wanted to say is you got to do the thumbs up thing. That helps with the algorithm and all that weird stuff. Algorithm, thumbs up, share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I notice a lot of folks are watching on Facebook today. YouTube actually will help me make money a little quicker from people watching videos. So you guys who enjoy the content, make sure you get over to YouTube. Just type Brittany freaking Chavez in, and then I will come up and you can go subscribe over there. But that's really helpful to me if you guys don't mind watching over on YouTube. Some people, maybe they don't have YouTube or don't know how to work it, so it's all good. All right, Brittany, this is the root. Okay, this is another dense layer shadow. And this is like a top layer shadow. All right. Very good, very good. So the root of the density that you're experiencing, Brittany, is the virgin shadow, which is the light attribute maintaining a symbolic purity of heart and spirit. Well, the shadow attribute is a fear of intimate union, a fear of intimate union. And we just talked about this in a different one, but like, I think all of us have some level of fear against vulnerability and intimacy. And remember, intimacy, it could be like relational and like being with partners and that kind of thing, but it also could just be being able to be vulnerable with friends or being able to be vulnerable with your chosen connections or your chosen family. Sometimes it's difficult to do that. Sometimes it's difficult to show those deep parts of ourselves, especially if somebody has hurt us, manipulated us, or abused us because we were vulnerable with them in the past. So that puts like extra layers up where we're like, now I'm like super afraid to be vulnerable because that other person hurt me with my vulnerability. And this could be something you embody, or like I said, all these cards could be something that somebody else did in that created density in your life. Also, Deep level shadow is the angel. Light attribute for helping those in need with no expectation of return. Shadow attribute is acting innocent or angelic to mislead others and falsely claiming to be in touch with angelic guidance. So that's intense. This could be people, spiritual leaders, that kind of thing, or it could just be like people in your experience who like act like they're innocent because it's like, again, a mask that they put on or an energy that they put on that is something other than their authenticity. And they mislead others with that, basically that false sense of innocence or false sense of, angelic behavior. The top layer shadow, and you're very aware of this. Maybe you've done work on this, you understand where it's coming from, but this is the storyteller. And the light attribute of the storyteller is the ability to express and experience life through symbolic stories and through symbols. And the shadow attribute is making up tales that harm other people. And so a lot of times storyteller is like a liar, like somebody in your experience is lying and that's hurting you. So I'm witnessing all of these shadows, the shadow of the virgin, the shadow of the angel, and the shadow of the storyteller. Brittany, over your experience and over the experience of your ancestors and the people close to you as well, knowing that we have the wisdom to return this shadow to a state of emptiness. And I'm witnessing this with love and compassion, knowing that we can align to our best and highest timelines, not just for the benefit of you or for me, but for the benefit of the entire collective. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those ones associated with the virgin shadow, the angel shadow, and the storyteller shadow, to be hereby quantumly disentangled from Brittany's infinite energy fields and from the fields of the collective. Cleared and canceled across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions. Because I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those associated with the virgin shadow, the angel shadow, and the storyteller shadow. Clear it and cancel it across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions into a boundary of light, back to source, to be received, upcycled, recycled, transmuted, and returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you so much, Brittany. I hope that is helpful in clearing energy and moving things for you. Emily Sue says, my son could hear you say, do the thumbs up thing. And he said, do the mama, you got to do the thumbs up thing. Yep, I love it. Emily said that also I touched a nerve and they didn't know it was sore, but in a good way, and that they're thankful that they have something to sit with. Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. I don't mean to like hurt anybody by doing this or trigger anybody. I do feel like shadow work can be really difficult sometimes. So I think that maybe now is a good time to go over maybe some shadow work self-care. But I think the psychology tells us, is more than what I think, that if you adopt a compassionate mindset, that you will be more likely to accomplish your goals. So if your goals are sitting with your shadows and figuring out how your trauma affects you, and figuring out how your experiences affect you, and figuring out how the patterns that other people have given you and the beliefs other people have given you are affecting you, you have to adopt a compassionate mindset. And that's basically taking as much time as you need, sitting, breathing, drinking enough water, getting enough sleep, but ultimately being super compassionate, knowing that like, my favorite thing about shadow work basically is seeing like how ridiculous I am. Like these cards, or just sitting with my experiences in general, show me how ridiculous I am, like how much ridiculous stuff that I do. And so when somebody else does something that's super ridiculous or silly or just unthinkable, it's like, of course they did that, because like I'm so ridiculous all the time. Of course other people are ridiculous. So that's helped me adopt a more like compassionate mindset and understand that like people hurt us and they wound us and they do silly things and unintentional things. And like most of the time, probably like 95% of the time, it's not about you. They're not intentional. They're just acting the way that they need to. So compassion is the most important with shadow work. Jessica, hi. Are you new to the feed? I don't think I've ever seen you comment, but I don't know how good my memory is. I will go ahead and pull some cards for Jessica now. Jessica Marie. And anybody else who's still watching this, feel free to comment, and I would love to do a reading and an energy clearing for you as well. Hang on, Jessica. Let me shuffle. This one fell out, so that's definitely yours. All right, this is the root shadow, root layer shadow. Okay, and this is another shadow that's very, very important to look at. And then this is the top layer shadow. Marina, I would love to read for you. I'm going to finish this reading up and this clearing for Jessica, and then we'll do a reading and a clearing for you. And then shapeshifter. So the top layer shadows, again, this is something that you know about. You probably have done some work on it, but we're going to just peel that back because it's directly related to the root shadow. So Jessica, the root of the density that you're experiencing right now is the child of nature shadow. A light attribute of the child of nature is a friendship with animals and a communication with the nature spirits, with the land spirits. You know, there's lots of spirits, and most people, when they think of the word spirit, they think of like people who died, or they think of like angels and demons. And like, while those things could all be an iteration of spirits, land also has a spirit, right? The mountains, the trees, the ground, the earth, that all is a spirit. And I think that also our animals have spirits as well. So whether that's wild animals or our animal companions and our pets, all of those things have spirits. So we should honor those things. And a light attribute is good communication and honor with those land spirits. A shadow attribute is a tendency to abuse animals, people, and the environment. So this is important. People in your experience have hurt you and hurt people in your ancestors and your teachers. They have hurt you by embodying the shadow attribute, the negative attribute of this child of nature. And the next thing, this is pretty heavy, is the vampire shadow. Not all the time, but most of the time when the vampire shadow comes up, it's talking about a narcissist. It's talking about someone in your experience who is narcissistic or does display some narcissistic tendencies and has unknowingly wounded you. So the light attribute of the vampire makes you aware that someone or something is draining your life force. But the shadow attribute is depleting others for your own psychic survival and chronic complaining and codependency. So I truly believe that narcissists or energy vampires, whatever you want to call people like that, that their vessel, their energy body has a crack or a hole in it somewhere. So all of the energy that they suck from other people just falls out the cracks. So no matter how much nurture you give to them, it just falls all away because they don't have a way to repair that crack, right? They don't want to look at their own shadows. They don't want to do their own healing, or sometimes they're incapable of it. They're just incapable of doing their own healing. And so a lot of times good-natured people get caught up with narcissists or energy vampires because we feel sorry. We think, if we give them nurture, then they're going to be different. They're going to really turn things around. And oftentimes what happens is we end up just getting depleted and sad. So that's something to understand. Again, embodying the light attribute of the vampire by understanding when you're doing that to somebody else. Because I think we've all done that sometimes. We've all taken somebody's attention when we didn't need to take that from them. Again, we can offer without having to take. And that's very important to embody. And then the shapeshifter shadow. This is something that is top layer. You know about this. You've probably done some reflection and work on it. But the light attribute of the shapeshifter is having the skill to navigate through different levels of consciousness and the ability to see potential in all things, everything, every person, every situation. And the shadow attribute is projecting an image that serves your personal agenda in the moment. And so this is basically not being authentic and manipulating people with the different faces and the different energy that you put on. So all of this, and again, I don't know. Okay, yeah, Jessica says yes when I said vampire and narcissist, and they said a man I was seeing. Yeah, so I mean, maybe that's something, and maybe they were also a little bit cruel, to animals or to you or to other people in your experience, and that wounded you, that made you have some density and some sadness. And so that's something to recognize. We got to recognize all these things and also understand sometimes we embody these things too. Or sometimes our parents did this. They did these shadows to us, and then unconsciously, unknowingly, we attracted partners or friends or people into our experience who also did those things, because when our parents did it, it made us feel comfortable because that's the only thing that we knew. So now is the time to break and release these shadows. So, Jessica, I am witnessing the shadow of the nature child, the vampire, and the shapeshifter with respect, appreciation, compassion, love, and wisdom, knowing that we could return these shadows to a state of emptiness, to align to our best and highest timeline, not just for the benefit of ourselves, but for the benefit of the entire collective. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those associated with the nature child shadow, the vampire shadow, and the shapeshifter shadow, and hereby quantumly disentangle these things from Jessica's infinite energy fields and from the fields of the collective. Clear it and cancel it across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions. Because I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, especially those associated with the child of nature, the vampire, and the shapeshifter shadows, and hereby quantumly disentangle these issues from Jessica's infinite energy field and from the fields of the collective. Cleared and canceled across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions into a boundary of light back to source to be received, upcycled, recycled, transmuted, and returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Blessings to you, Julie. Blessings. Blessings and benefit. Thank you very much, Jessica. I hope that that energy clearing helps you. I hope that it moves energy and density in your life. Okay, Marina commented. Marina, let's pull some cards for you, my friend. And then anybody else who's still on the stream, if you would like a reading, feel free to comment. I would love to pull cards for you and also to do some energy clearing for you. Jessica says, thank you. You're very welcome, Jessica. I'm glad that you commented today. So very glad. And Julie says that she's yawning. Jessica says they needed it. Yep. Yeah. Thank you, Jessica. I appreciate you. I have a cool story about clearing a house, and I feel like I have to go live later, maybe after this session, to tell everybody about it, because it was a pretty cool experience. And it had to do with yawning. I was like yawning so much. I'm like, whew, get rid of that energy. Okay, Marina, this is the root. Oh, upside down. This is the root of the density you're experiencing. Oh, that one fell out too. Okay, this is another heavy issue, heavy, dense issue to the density you're experiencing. And this one is a top layer issue, something you've recognized, maybe something you've done some work on, something you know about. And it's this one. Okay, the rescuer. So we're going to peel back that top layer shadow and get to the root, right? So clean house, help bad energy. Jessica, if you're on Facebook, if you need help, private message me. I would love to help you. Sarah Jane says, hey, do you see anything for me? Sarah, let me do Marina's reading, and then I would love to pull cards for you as well. But yeah, Jessica, you feel free to message me. I would love to help you out. Marina, the root to the density that you're experiencing is the Midas Miser shadow. The light attribute is entrepreneurial or creative ability to turn anything into gold and a delight in sharing life's riches. While the shadow attribute is hoarding money and emotions and obsessive fear over losing your wealth. So again, all of these cards, these are things that you embody or things that other people have done to you or to your ancestors or to the people who were supposed to take care of you. So this is definitely like hoarding money to not help you, or like people just not being emotionally available to help you or to help you process or to support you in the way that you need to be supported. It's very important to look at that. A lot of people have this obsessive impulse for survival where they hurt other people, you know, unconsciously they hurt other folks because they're afraid of losing something. They're afraid of losing their position or their influence or their money. So they're not available. So it's something to think about in ourselves and in others. And then the other dense level shadow we've got here is the monk nun shadow. Light attribute is the selfless devotion and single-minded dedication to spirit, while the shadow attribute is negative judgment of the physical world and excess piety. So again, this is either you, people you know, who are just so judgmental of the physical world, like everybody out there, all the others, they're so terrible and I'm going to judge them so much, without recognizing the hypocrisy in judging everybody else, you know? And then the top layer issue, again, this is probably something you're aware of, something that you've recognized, but this is the rescuer shadow. And the light attribute of the rescuer provides strength and support to others in crisis and acts out of love with no expectation or reward. However, the shadow attribute assumes that the rescue will reciprocate. I always have trouble with that word, reciprocate, and keeps the rescue one needy. So this is like, only helping people to a certain point, not helping them all the way, not giving them their own skills and tools, but helping just a little bit, enough to make sure they keep struggling and keep coming back for help. And so sometimes you're the rescuer, right? Sometimes you keep on helping people and you're not thinking about yourself and your heart and your own boundaries. And sometimes other people do this to you. They just only help you a little bit and they want you to keep needing them or something. Again, codependency. These are codependency tendencies. A lot of these cards are. And so I am witnessing, Marina, I am witnessing the shadow of the miser, the monk nun, and the rescuer with respect, love, compassion, wisdom, knowing that we can return these shadows to a state of emptiness and align to our best and highest timelines, not just for the benefit of ourselves, but for the benefit of the collective. I love you. I'm sorry. Wait, that's wrong. We're going to do that first because I need to. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those associated with the Midas Miser shadow, the Monk Nun shadow, and the Rescuer shadow, to be hereby quantumly disentangled from Marina's infinite energy field and from the field of the collective. Clear it and cancel it across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions, because I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those associated with the Midas Miser shadow, the Monk Nun shadow, and the Rescuer shadow, to be hereby quantumly disentangled from Marita's infinite energy field and from the field of the collective. Clear it and cancel it across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions. Into a boundary of light, back to source, to be received, upcycled, recycled, transmuted, and returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you so much, Marina. I hope that was helpful. All right, my friends. Let's see. Sarah Jane, are you still here? I'll start shuffling. And anybody else who's still watching, feel free to comment. I'd love to pull some cards for you and to also clear energy. Oh, Sarah didn't comment. Maybe you took off. That's okay. I'll pull. Nope. Okay. I was going to pull some cards for you anyways. Marina says, thank you. I appreciate it. You're very welcome, Marina. Make sure you follow the page. I go live and do these. I'm thinking about doing these sessions once a week. I don't know what day, maybe Monday or Tuesday. And I also go live and do intuitive messages on Thursdays. All right, Sarah. This is the root of the density you're experiencing. Okay. This is another density, another heavier one. Okay. And this is a top layer issue. And we're going to peel this top layer back before we really get to that root. Samaritan. Oh, I haven't gotten that one in a while. Okay, Sarah. The root to the density you're experiencing is the companion. The light attribute of the companion is loyalty, tenacity, and unselflessness. Unselfishness. I can't read tonight either. So again, one more time. The companion light attribute is loyalty, tenacity, and unselfishness, not being selfish, being able to give of yourself. And the shadow attribute is betrayal by misusing confidences and a loss of personal identity. So again, all these cards, it could be something that you embody, or it could be something that other people have done to you. So it's important to look at this and say, is this something that I'm doing? Is it something that somebody else gave to me? Is this part of a belief system or a pattern of habits that maybe my parents gave to me, or my teachers, or somebody else in my experience? Another heavy level shadow is the guide shadow. The light attribute of the guide represents the nature of the divine in life and in yourself, while the shadow attribute places financial gain and control over imparting, especially spiritual insight. So this is basically anywhere in your life where people have put paywalls up or said that they wouldn't help you because you didn't have the money, or maybe you couldn't find the resources to help yourself, or guides, folks giving you bad advice. Maybe it's not even bad advice, maybe it's objectively good advice, maybe it's good advice for them, but it's not the advice that you need. And so that's something to think about. Have people hurt you with their own advice that just wasn't good for you, and you tried so hard to follow that advice, even though it didn't resonate 100% in your experience? And then the top layer shadow here is the Samaritan shadow. The light attribute is refining your capacity to help those that you would prefer to ignore, while the shadow attribute is exacting appreciation and recognition for the help that you offer others. And so this is real important. Rachel, I'd love to read for you. Let me finish off with Sarah. This is real important. Exacting appreciation and recognition for the help you offer. Have people in your experiences helped you and then thrown it back in your face and then said, look do you remember that time when I helped you? You should, whatever, guilt trip you into feeling or doing something for them. So this is important to understand. Maybe that's something that you do. Maybe it's something that you embody, or maybe somebody has done that to you. Maybe you've helped them and they've tried to throw that back in your face, or guilt trip you into helping them some more, or something like that. So that's important to recognize, understand that these are things either that are happening in your experience, or somebody has done these things. They embody these shadows, and that has created density in your life and your experience. So I am witnessing, Sarah, the shadow of the companion, the guide, and the Samaritan with respect, compassion, love, appreciation, and wisdom, knowing that we could return these shadows to a state of emptiness and align to our best and highest timelines, not just for the benefit of ourselves, but for the benefit of the entire collective. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those associated with the companion shadow, the guide shadow, and the Samaritan shadow, to be hereby quantumly disentangled from Sarah's infinite energy field and from the field of the collective. Cleared and canceled across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions, because I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those associated with the companion shadow, the guide shadow, and the Samaritan shadow. And I hereby quantumly disentangle the companion shadow, the guide shadow, the Samaritan shadow, and any and all foreign energy entanglements remaining from Sarah's infinite energy field and from the field of the collective. Cleared and canceled across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions into a boundary of light, back to source, to be received, upcycled, recycled, transmuted, and returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you so much, Sarah. I hope that was helpful for you. Rachel, if you are still here, I would love to pull some cards and do a clearing for you. Thanks so much for commenting. Let me go ahead and shuffle really quick. Oh, I'm going to for real shuffle. Sometimes it's necessary. Sometimes I need to do it. I'm interested for everybody else who's watching. Sarah, you're welcome. Do you guys ever use cards? Do you ever use oracle cards or playing cards to do divinations. And if you don't, why not? I feel like it's such a cool thing to be able to do. And like I said before, I really, really feel like these cards have given me a lot of healing and a lot of benefit. Oh, thanks for commenting, Rachel. I'm glad you're still here. Okay. All right, Rachel, this is that fell out. This is the root. Vampire again. All right, so last time that we got the vampire shadow, I mentioned a lot of times this is narcissistic tendencies, people who are energy vampires in your life, that kind of thing. Something to be thinking about. Okay, and this is another deep layer issue. Warrior. Okay. And then this is a top layer issue. This is something we got to peel back before we can really get to the root of that vampire shadow. Okay. Seeker. Okay. So the root of the density. Oh, Miss Shorty, I watched the replay. Thanks for your reading for me. I helped take care of my aunt, so I had to step away for a while, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Miss Shorty. I'm glad that was helpful and beneficial to you. Make sure you thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. I do like to go live fairly often. But Rachel, the root to your issues is the vampire. This could mean that someone your experience is a narcissist, or they embody this energy of basically like draining you of resources, emotional resources, financial resources, energetic resources, or maybe somebody in your experience was hurt by a narcissist, and so that created density in your experience because you're attached to that other person. Another deep level issue, Rachel, that you should definitely look at is the warrior. The light attribute of the warrior is strength, skill, discipline, and toughness of will, heroism, stoicism, and self-sacrifice, especially in conquering the ego. The shadow attribute is trading ethical principles for victory at any cost and indifference to the suffering inflicted on others. And so this is basically like doing whatever it takes to get ahead or to accomplish your goal, regardless of how it treats other people, right? Regardless of what it does to folks, what it does. Trading ethical principles for victory at any cost. Sounds like a lot of our big corporations, huh? So, I mean, that could be large-scale things, power structures, could be something that you embody, but it also could be something that somebody else has done to you or to your parents, to your teachers, to your ancestors. The top layer issue that we're looking at now is the seeker. The light attribute of the seeker is a thirst for wisdom and truth wherever they are. The shadow attribute is the inability to commit to a path once it is found. And so I think that all of us get little hints of our intuition, little hints of our life path, little hints of joy and passion. We know where we need to go, but sometimes we're afraid, or sometimes we feel like there's so many obstacles, densities, and barriers in our way, and that we can't commit to our path once we found it. Once we know what creates passion and joy in our life, we cannot pursue it for whatever reason. And so this, if you ask me, this reading, Rachel, is telling you that now is the time to look at your passions in a deeper light and to follow those passions. Whoa, I just got like a really big deja vu instance. That was pretty wild. But I feel like maybe this message is for me too. Like, commit to your path and do your work. But definitely for you, Rachel. I am witnessing now, Rachel, the shadow of the vampire, the warrior, and the seeker with respect, love, compassion, and with the wisdom to know that we can return these shadows to a state of emptiness while moving forward and aligning to our best and highest timeline, not just for the benefit of ourselves, but for the benefit of the entire collective. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I am grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm grateful for this experience. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I command and demand any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those ones associated with the vampire shadow, the warrior shadow, and the seeker shadow, to be hereby quantumly disentangled from Rachel's infinite field and from the field of the collective. Clear it and cancel it across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions. Ooh, clear it and cancel it. Hang on a second. We're going to really clear. Actually, I'm going to use my rattle some more. Whew. All right, my friends. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I hereby quantumly disentangle the shadow of the vampire, the warrior, and the seeker from Rachel's infinite energy field, cleared and canceled across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions, because I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. I am the violet flame of transformation and forgiveness. And by my nature, with my own rainbow energy, I automatically transmute any and all remaining foreign energy entanglements, but especially those associated with the vampire, the warrior, and the seeker shadow, to be hereby quantumly disentangled from Rachel's infinite field and from the field of the collective, cleared and canceled across all lifetimes, timelines, and dimensions, into a boundary of light, back to source to be received, upcycled, recycled, transmuted, and returned to love. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you so much, Rachel. I hope that was helpful for you guys. And I really appreciate everybody who tuned in. I want to now just offer us some closing now that we have gone through these readings. Again, thank you all for participating. Anywhere that we've released density associated with all of these shadows that we have witnessed today, and with the causes and conditions of our suffering, we have co-created subatomic nooks and crannies of void. And into these void spaces, I now hereby and intentionally and completely refill myself and all of the viewers and all of the people who will be replaying this, and our infinite fields. Anywhere that we've released density, I refill them with the whitest, brightest true source healing light and the most liquid, golden, sparkling true source love and light. And I seal us completely and individually and collectively with the brightest, whitest true source healing light, with the most liquid, golden true source love and light. And I do so from crown to soul, from back to front, from side to side, inside, outside, and all around us. And may our personal electromagnetic, subtle, etheric, and infinite causal fields vibrate with increased resonance and increased coherence and increased integrity. Great Spirit, please have mercy on all of us and help us align with our best and highest timelines and transmute the causes and conditions of our suffering with the maximum grace and ease, with the perfect alignment, with the perfect timing, and for the best and highest good, not just for ourselves, but for the entire collective. Great Spirit, have mercy on all of us. And thank you so much for witnessing. Thank you, guides. Thank you, benevolent ancestors. Thank you for directions, for holding space. Go be with all of us tonight and all of our families, and help us to continue to transmute our suffering so that we may align with a state of ease. So mote it be. Thank you, my friends.